Money today or more money tomorrow? You decide. Really, we're deciding between the active income of a property business versus the long-term passive income from a property portfolio. So what are the key differences? Well, owning a property business is an active income stream. Like any other business, you are doing something like an active activity where you're going to sell the product or the service, and I'll break that down in a second, and you're going to put that out, and then in exchange, you're going to get paid chunks of money. Whereas owning a property portfolio is where you're going to put that money into a long-term asset. Now, why are we even having this discussion? Well, there's a lot of property gurus out there and trainers out there. I'm not knocking them, by the way, I'm an educator myself, but they act like property investment is this big business, and it's just not. Now, are there ways of scaling a portfolio without money? Yes, you can get loans, you can get joint venture finance and the lot. However, a majority of people, it's you make your money over here and you put it into property investments. So property represents like over 90% of the world's wealth, but it wasn't all generated in property. It was generated in legitimate businesses and then put into the property investment. So if you're watching this, you are going to be one of two people. Either you are a successful business person or a professional, if you like, so you might be a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, whatever it is, a plasterer, a builder, doesn't matter, and you've earned decent money. Maybe you already own a business. And the reason you're here is to learn more about property so that you can put your hard-earned cash into those investments. So the idea is that eventually you can stop working hard for your money because you've got your money working hard for you. On the other side, maybe you're here because actually I don't have a huge amount of money. Maybe you've got 5 grand, 10 grand, which, by the way, congratulations, that is a huge amount of money, but it ain't going to go far in property investment, not unless you're going to do a creative strategy like lease options or rent to rents, which, by the way, do not do right at the beginning of your journey unless you have been properly educated. So why am I even talking about this? Well, the big reason is I think a lot of people sell these strategies as like a replace your income, quit your job in 30 days, you'll do 100 grand in your first year. And there's only really one strategy where you can do that, and that is something called deal packaging. Now, I'm not going to be deep diving around that, but that is where you are finding opportunities for investors. You may have heard me talk about on this channel because I own a deal packaging business, and you get paid for the service. The reason that is so successful is it's not property, it's a business, it's marketing, it's sales, it's a great service for people, and it just so happens what we're doing as the product is property. But make no mistake, it's a service-based business finding amazing investment opportunities, but that is a business that happens to be in property. So it's really about dividing these up and deciding where you're at, but ultimately, if you have a pot of money, I usually say 100K or more, you can be a property business. Now, if you've got, let's say, I don't know, 0, 10, 20K, amazing, but you're going to want to invest in your education. Now, this can be with myself. It can be investing your time on the YouTube channel, by the way, and that's going to be a great resource to get you started. But eventually, you want to invest in your education. And by the way, look, soft pitch on this. If you have been watching a lot of my channel and you want to get educated by me and my team, put education in the comments. We can send you a link. We'll book in a free one-to-one consultation session and even figure out if we can actually help you or not, because we might not be able to. There are other people out there, by the way, but if you like what I'm about and my team's about, put education in the comments, or I'll put a link and you can fill in your details. We'll have a chat. Now, what are the pros and cons of being a property investor? The number one thing's got to be passive income. The whole point of it is that you've already worked hard for your money. Now it's about getting an asset that's going to produce on a monthly basis to pay for your liabilities. Now, is this passive from the beginning? No, not unless you use a deal packager like we do at Aspire Property Group, where we'll find it, get it through legals, use a broker, get it refurbed, get it managed. That's fine. But if not, and you want to do it yourself, that's great as well, but you need to work hard enough to not have to work hard. And so it's upfront effort with the long-term passive benefit. Now, with interest rates the way they are, which at the moment, at the time of filming this, you could get an interest rate of 5.44%, and you will positively cash flow, but it's not going to be changing your life on a boring vanilla buy-to-let property. Now, you could go a bit higher with HMOs, make a bit more profit, but it is a lot less predictable, I can guarantee you. Or service accommodation, which makes even more profit if you get it right, but that again is edging towards a property business rather than a property portfolio. Benefit number 2 of a property portfolio is the generational wealth. So once you're a millionaire through property, which I might sound crazy to you right now, but I promise you every single one of you watching this can become a property millionaire in the next 5 to 10 years, and this is a weird concept because I grew up on a council estate, benefit, upbringing, that sort of thing, which I'm not knocking, by the way. I had a great life, great upbringing. But now it's like my kids will be millionaires, my grandkids will be millionaires, as long as they don't screw it up in their first divorce, right? So as long as they don't do that, the long-term generational wealth is there forever. And about 75 to 80% of your wealth in property comes from capital appreciation. So owning a portfolio is very much not really about looking after yourself today. It's about looking after the you of tomorrow, which obviously comes with the downsides of it ain't going to be paying your way. You're not going to be quitting your job anytime soon on a couple of buy-to-lets, but that's not what it's about. I always say to my investors, look, if you've managed to get 100, 200K, unless you inherited it, of course, you don't have a cash flow problem. Think logically about that. If you've managed to save up a couple hundred grand, then you don't have a cash flow problem. You've got a wealth management, a wealth preservation issue. And that's really about the store of money with the long-term capital growth. Now, the business side of things, the great thing is you are fully in control of how much you earn. So the most we've ever done as a deal packaging business in 1 month is about £500,000. That's in sales. We'll probably have a few fall out. That was a couple of months ago. So we'll have a few fall out of bed because of down values, whatever, the usual stuff in property. Let's call it 450. Now, the thing that I love about that isn't the amount that we made, it's that we're in direct control of how much we earn, within reason, of course. Now, there's market fluctuations up and down, all of that. The cool thing about having a service as a property business is you've almost got the tap at the top, some pipe work, and the bucket. The tap at the top is marketing. The pipe work is your systems, your processes, your scripts, how often you reach out to a client, all of those sort of things. And then the bucket is your bank account. Now, in general, the hardest part of business is getting the right pipe work in place. And when people come on my courses, that's the number one thing that they really struggle with is it's not actually getting an investor lead or a vendor lead. It's what the process is once it comes in. But the reason why that's so cool as an upside is once you've got the pipe work, how do you get more water in the bucket? The bucket being the bank account, the water being cash. How would you get more water in? Well, if you've got the perfect pipe work, you just turn on the tap more, which is your marketing. Okay, and that's really, it takes a long time to get there in business, but that's one of the key benefits is if I want to make more money next year, all I really do is I spend more money. And if you're a smart business person, if you go, right, I'm going to spend another £1,000 a month on marketing, you then go, okay, how many more leads is that? How many more conversations is that? Do I have enough time for that? Do I need to hire a salesperson on commission only maybe to get yourself started at the beginning of business? What pressure is that going to put on the pipes? And maybe, by the way, this year we've managed to increase our marketing spend by about 35% without it having any detrimental impact to the pipes. That is great. Now we're at the end of this year and going into next, I know I want to turn it on more next year and there will be too much pressure on the pipes. Our CRM system isn't robust enough. Our communication systems aren't good enough. Our systems aren't good enough. Our training's not there. And so I need to think of the pipe work before I turn on the taps more. Now, the pro of this, the biggest thing for me is I'm in control of my destiny. If I want to work today, I'll work today. If I don't want to work tomorrow, I won't work tomorrow. And the cool thing is you can be in that situation too. Now, the downside is that when you're dealing with property, yes, the money is amazing, but it can also go really wrong. And so this is where proper education comes in. And yes, I am going to plug my education, but it doesn't have to be with me. It could be with somebody you relate to. But if you're getting value and you seriously want to invest in yourself, you don't need tens of thousands. With a few grand, you can really accelerate your life. And this time next year, it could be a complete game changer for you. And if that is you, put education in the comments, or again, I'll put the link, I'll pin it to the top, fill in your details, and myself and the team would love to have a chat. The other downsides of business, honestly, is who you have to become on the journey. So myself at my core, if I look at the last who I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, myself at the core, I haven't really changed. I'm still a bit rough around the edges. I still like to take the piss out of people. I like doing things like this. I always have. And I think as you make money, it just accelerates who you are. Like if you're a dick today, and I guarantee some of you are, and you've got a load of money coming in, guess what? You'll be more of a dick tomorrow. If you're a charitable individual and you love helping those people around you, guess what happens when you get money? You can help more people. You can be more charitable and everything around that. But what's really difficult is you do have to develop yourself. And you might think, well, this is a pro. It is. The key benefit is obviously the freedom, but why is this a downside, Jamie? Well, the key thing that I love is who you become. So it's, yes, those are the outputs, the money, the houses, the travel, and I'm not knocking it, by the way, I love it all, but it's who you have to become as a human being that helps you with your growth. The downside of this is you're not the same person. So for me, I've still got my friends from when I was younger, and we meet up every now and then, and they're amazing individuals. I love them all. But there's also a lot of people on the journey that would be like, you've changed. And it's like, sometimes it is the case you've changed because you've had to develop to the next level, and sometimes it's a form of jealousy because you've outgrown their ability to do certain things. So something I have noticed is, you know, as you make more money, you naturally want to experience different things. You want to do some cool things that not many people around you can actually afford to do. So something that might be considered very expensive by one person suddenly isn't. So there are downsides. I also think it could be quite isolating. I want to be real here. One of the biggest things with my education, and I'm not trying to pitch the education now, I've already done that a couple of times, but something that's really unique, because I've been educated, getting educated, I've spent hundreds of thousands on my own education. And something that I've done with my own education programs right now is it's all based around community. And the reason for that is I went on a load of 2-day courses, great stuff, really enjoyed myself. And then the only way you get any sense of community after is by spending hundreds of thousands of pounds, or not on one thing, by the way, but tens of thousands on one thing. And that's great, the ongoing support, but the downside of owning a business is less and less people relate to you. And as I said, some people, that means they'll go out of your life. But honestly, when you're going through hardship, I'll give a great example where, like, this year we will do, I don't know, 7 million across the businesses. Let's say roughly that. We're operating at about 55% profit margin. That's the target. Whether we hit it, let's say 50% to be safe. Now, I also have gone through a lot of struggles this year with my mental health. I've lost a couple of really close people, and you would be shocked that when you communicate things about how I'm really struggling, I'm quite stressed, you know, or I'm worried about this situation happening, you would be shocked how little people care in comparison to when I didn't have the money around me. Now, you might go, you need better people in your life. I'm not saying I don't have incredible individuals in my life as well, but something I've definitely noticed is it is a bit like a get out your small violin because life is amazing for you, Jamie. And so are these things that are worthwhile as a property business owner to take out? Yeah. I would say so. I think actually, if you want to be a part of the 1%, you need to accept the fact that 99% of people just won't understand you. And that's why I'm a big believer in the, okay, you can bitch and moan about that, or you can make a decision, become one of the 99%, or go all in on being one of the 1%. So my opinion is, if you're watching this and you've got the money, great, start investing, 100% start investing in your property portfolio. But if you're here and you want to develop yourself and push yourself further, Start investing in yourself. You are your best investment. And that is from Warren Buffett, by the way, who's one of the smartest people in the world. And actually, at his annual general meeting that he did for Berkshire Hathaway, his business, this year, he said the best investment you can make this year is in your own knowledge. So if you are one of those people, you want to start one of your property businesses, put education in the comments. I kind of went off tangent on this video, if I'm completely honest, down to the structure that I intended it to be, but hopefully it's valuable. Let me know in the comments. It was a little bit rambly, but hopefully it sort of comes across with passion because I genuinely care about this stuff. I really think that if you're new to property and you're looking to accelerate, you need to be thinking about creating a business, whether that's in property or not, by the way. Business is what's going to make you the money, then you manage it effectively and you multiply it in your investments. So hopefully this has been valuable. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell. I love producing property, entrepreneurship, mindset, and everything business. So if you're looking for a channel that's going to give you all of that, make sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you did get value from these ramblings and this randomly structured video, make sure to hit that like button and I'll see you in the next video.